Well, hello, and welcome to On the Patio with Mr. D. Well, you can tell it is a foggy morning today, which kind of upsets me a little bit because I wanted to do something special, and I'm still going to do it. I'm going to hope that the fog lifts and we can end up with a beautiful day. So, anyway, what we're doing today, guys, is I'm going to shoot this entire video using my new iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's supposed to have image stabilization and all these kind of cool things and cinematic video, and I'm going to be testing all that out here because I get the questions all the time. Say, hey Dale, what cameras do you use out there? And you have a kind of restricted space of what you can and can't do. And what happened was yesterday I had a what is that, 10, 12, 11, whatever. I had one of the old Pro Max, and I had that for a few years. And I went in to have breakfast the other day, and thing come up and it says 97% full. And I've got a lot of applications that I use for my series stuff here. A lot of photography and video applications, and a lot of my cameras take a specific application to upload the data and all that kind of stuff. So I've got to have all that stuff on my camera. And so I went in there and they were offering me this crazy deal, about $700 off. These phones are crazy, stupid expensive, man, I tell you what. So anyway, make a long story short, I went in there and picked up a 256 gig iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is supposed to be the bomb diggity, I don't know. So anyway, what I figured to do today is see if this thing would work for a production. I mean, an entire production, shoot the whole video using this. Now, I am going to switch off to wireless audio. I have the mic adapter here, and the mic is somewhere on my shirt. And I'm going to do that, but right now I'm doing this on raw audio. I want to see how it does. So, hopefully the fog will lift and we can get some better shots, because I do want to use that cinematic video process and kind of really take a look at that as far as the how that all works. It's a special kind of file name that comes out or whatever. I don't know. So we're just going to find out together. So hey, we'll be back in a bit. Well, hey guys, we're going to try out this cinematic mode right now. The fog hasn't lifted, but it's looking like it's going to lift, so I can do some narration on this thing. Now I'm in cinematic mode, guys, and right now, and you can actually set up the bokeh, and the bokeh is the blur behind the main subject. I see that you can't change it when you're recording, so I'm going to stop the recording right now and do some adjustments on the bokeh to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Now, I decided against hooking up the external audio. I played this thing back. The audio was fantastic. Now, again, I'm only, what, 2 feet away from the phone, so that's a good thing. So anyway, what I'm going to do is stop this and then change some bokeh settings and stuff like that, and then come back to this cinematic mode thing. So it's kind of cool. Be right back. What I did find out, guys, you can't do it in while you're recording, but when you stop recording, if you're in landscape mode, up in the left-hand corner of your phone, you'll see a little F, and that stands for f-stop. Now, you can change the f-stop on this from 2.0 to f16. Now, f16 is going to give you a clearer background, where f2 is going to give you the bokeh you see right here. It makes it look like the whole lake is totally full of fog. So I'm going to stop this clip right here and switch over to f16 so you can see what the differences is. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I put my Insta360 Go up on my cap to let you see what I'm talking about here. Now, I'm looking at the screen, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but you see a little box. When you're in cinematic mode, it'll track whatever you point to on the screen. In this case, I got it tracking to my face, so the focus will stay in within that bracket that you've set up, which is really kind of cool. And I'm going to get over here. Now, I've got it set up to f16 like I said I would, and you can see some of the clear trees there. but the fog is really bad today. So I'm going to try to get over here and do a test alongside this houseboat to give you a test from an f2.0 to an f16. And those of you who are photographers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You want to reduce the amount of background. You stop it down to f2 or f1.4 if you have those really high-end lenses and stuff like that. And if you want to add the background, then you raise the f-stop up. And I never really go past f16, but some cameras will go as far as f32. Now, here's a good example right here. This is an f16. I'm going to shut this off and then switch back to f2 to show you what the bokeh change is. Now you can see what the bokeh did with that boat in the background. It really tightens up your main subject of what you're trying to do. When you're doing a cinematic video using a person and you don't want a lot of that superfluous background in the shot, you can set that thing to f2.0. And then if you want to change it to f16 to pick up more background, you can see what you couldn't see before is the boat, and you can see now that in cinematic mode f16 how it picks up some of the background. Again, I apologize for the fog, but I can't control the weatherman. So anyway, hey, we're gonna play around with this thing a little bit more and do a little more paddling, and hopefully it looks like the fog is lifting finally. I'm beginning to see blue sky, so we should be able to get some really, really cool shots. So hey, we'll be back in bed. Hi guys, what I'm doing now is I'm recording on the iPhone 13 in cinematic mode right here. And I'm also recording on my Pocket 2. Now the sun is getting in a bad spot, so I've got to turn this around because the fog has lifted. So I'm going to turn the boat around up here and show you a split screen of the Pocket 2 and the iPhone 13 cinematic video. So let me turn this around. I gotta love this Expedition Elite with the rudder kit on it. It makes things really nice. Let me turn this around here. It's a big boat though. All right guys, what I'm doing here is running into the bushes. That's what I'm doing. What I'm doing here is I've got a split screen going on here. Right now I've got the Pocket 2 going on this side of the screen, and then I've got the iPhone 13 Pro Max in cinematic mode recording at the same time. So I'm going to link these two together. Now the audio, I'm using for the Pocket 2, I'm using my microphone here, and then I'm using the raw audio on the iPhone 13. So I'll be switching those back and forth in this comparison. But what's so great, got a little bit of fog left down on the back side of the lake, but it's lifting and I'm beginning to see blue sky, and we'll be able to get some color tests and stuff like that done. And I'm really excited about that. So anyway, hey, we'll be back in a bit. Hi guys, again, what I'm doing is I'm testing out. Let me make sure this mic is on. It is. All right, what I'm doing guys is, again, I'm checking out. Now I put a filter on my Pocket to knock down this glare, because the Pocket 2 has a tendency to run bright. So I put an ND16 on it. Now there is nothing on the iPhone right now. Now what I'm going to do is stop the recording. I'm going to change the bokeh out, and again show you a difference when you can't adjust bokeh on a camera when you're out paddling or doing whatever you want to do. So be right back. Now on this side of the screen is the Osmo that has no bokeh adjustment or anything like that. Then you have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which allows me in cinematic mode to change the bokeh or the f-stop to f2.0. What you see here, what it does is brings your subject out and takes the interest away from the background and puts it on the subject. That's basically what any bokeh person does. If you're shooting portrait mode or anything like that and you set the bokeh up to 2.0, it'll wipe out that background and highlight the subject that you're shooting, which is really, really excellent. So anyway, hey, we're going to stop recording on this Pocket 2 now and just get back to strictly working with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. guys, I've set this thing up on a dock, and I'm gonna leave it here and go ahead and shoot this clip in cinematic mode. So hey, we'll be back in a minute. Not very good at parallel parking. Hi guys, the fog has lifted, and I'm testing out the coloration of these clips. And I'm in cinematic mode, and I'm gonna switch over to video mode, just regular video mode, to see what the differences are. Okay, now what we're gonna do is do a cinematic shot using strictly straight video mode. I don't know how the image stabilization is going to pan out for us. But you can see the fog is pretty much lifted off the lake, and we should be able to finish up this video with no problem at all. Now I'm shooting into the sun. I'm kind of curious to see how it filters that sun, because you know, you get sunspots and spurs and all that kind of crazy stuff, and we'll see how that works out too. Okay guys, I'm doing some footage here in cinematic mode at f/16, and it gives you the best detail. Now I'd recommend you just use standard video mode, because you know, your cinematic mode is strictly for doing a specific subject or a specific item or a specific object. So I'm going to switch over to standard video mode now and continue this. Hi guys, we are going to wrap it up out here on Old Lake Davenport, where I decided to go ahead and shoot an entire production using a cell phone. Now, not just any cell phone, it's the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which has got all these fancy doodads. Now, I'm shooting in cinematic mode right now. I've got the f-stop set at 1.6. I'm going to finish up the review adjusting it down to f2.0. Now, the only bad thing is, if I had a complaint, I can't change that stuff on the fly. And I'd like to be able to do that, and I've tried it, and it just won't work. So, hey, I'll be right back in the cinematic f2.0 setting. Okay, I've set this thing up on f2.0 in cinematic mode to do the final wrap up, to knock out the background there so it just focuses on the narration. And that's what I was trying to accomplish with this particular testing out here on the water today, was the cinematic mode function in the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and it did not disappoint. The audio is unbelievably clear, which really surprised me. I did bring the backup Rode Go wireless system, what I could have plugged into the phone, but I didn't need it. I was playing the stuff back out here on water, and it was really crystal clear. But anyway, we tested photos, we tested cinematic mode, video mode, photo mode, slow motion, stuff like that, and it perform flawlessly. Now, I was using a Bluetooth remote on the slow-mo shots and those video shots down by the dock, and that's one of the things you could put in your goodie bag, but they're so small that you could put this in a pocket and just link it up with your cell phone. But you can and very easily have this cell phone be your primary camera for on-water video. It goes down to 29 feet underwater, so if you do see something underwater, you can dip it, just hold on to it, but you could dip it in there and pick up some underwater footage. I haven't done that. I haven't had the need to do that, but you can do that. They did change the IP waterproofing up by 1 point, and that took it from, what was it, 10 feet down to, I think it's 29, something like that, 28, I don't know, something like that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. I mean, normally I bring a whole lot of cameras out now. I did bring the Insta360 Go, and also I brought the Pocket 2 with me for a just in case. But I got to get off the water. It's starting to get busy now. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you on the next one. Hi, guys. The paddle is done. The Advanced Elements Expedition with rudder kit performed perfectly as always. I haven't had this boat out in a long time, and man, I forgot how nice it was to paddle this thing. It was awesome.